Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And once again, what a beautiful spring day here in north central Washington. This great shot provided by Sky5's tower camera at Monitor, looking down, of course, at Highway 2. And you can also see the Wenatchee River right beside it. Some mid to high level clouds, and that kind of kept our temperature down today. We thought we might get into the lower 80s, just didn't make it there. But all in all, I don't think anybody's complaining. Beautiful weather today. And if you like hot weather for this time of year, you're going to like our forecast coming up for the rest of the week. We will see warm and dry weather right into the upcoming weekend. Our average high temperature for this time of year is about 69. We could be as high as 89 and possibly even 90 as we get into this weekend and even on Mother's Day. So we'll have more on that Mother's Day weekend forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A partially submerged sailboat on Lake Chelan initiated a fuel spill response yesterday afternoon because of leaking diesel fuel. The pilot killed in a Monday morning plane crash near the Chelan airport has been identified. And will there be a fourth daily flight added between Pangbourne and SeaTac airports? We'll let you know. But first, we begin tonight. The manhunt continues tonight for Joshua Mayer, the man accused of attacking a security officer at the Grant County Courthouse on Tuesday. 2 schools in Ephrata were locked down for about 3 hours and a canine brought in to aid in the search, but the 34-year-old remains at large. The incident began when Mayer approached a security checkpoint at the courthouse and refused to remove his hands from his pockets. That, according to Kyle Foreman of the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Mayer then engaged in a physical confrontation with a female officer that spilled outside. Another security officer tried unsuccessfully to tase Mayer before he fled into town. The officer suffered a broken kneecap and finger in that altercation. Foreman said Mayer is well known by local law enforcement and has been jailed multiple times for various offenses. If you see Mayer, Ephrata police advise that you dial 911 and not confront him yourself. A partially submerged sailboat on Lake Chelan initiated a fuel spill response yesterday afternoon because of leaking diesel fuel. Emergency management personnel from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office were notified by State Department of Ecology just after 4 p.m. concerning a 29-foot sailboat which was about 60% submerged along the south shore of the lake. It was just down lake of the 25-Mile Creek United States Forest Service dock. By 9:30 p.m., the vessel had been surrounded by boom and absorbent material to mitigate the diesel flow out into the lake by a DOE spill response team. The spill was cleaned up fairly quickly. An attempt to locate the owner of the vessel at several different locations in Chelan was unsuccessful as of last night. The investigation concerning what caused the large sailboat to sink is ongoing. Well, the pilot killed in a Monday morning plane crash near Chelan Airport has been identified as 68-year-old Kenneth W. Van Ash of Chelan Falls. Chelan County Coroner Wayne Harris said Van Ash died of asphyxia and burns. The plane burst into flames after crashing nose down in an orchard near the airport about 6:30 a.m. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating. Van Ash was flying what's referred to as an amateur-built JA-30 Superstall, that according to an NTSB spokesman. Well, if you've ever experienced a long layover at SeaTac Airport waiting for the last Horizon Air flight to East Wenatchee, you know the frustration. Alaska Airlines has rejected Pangbourne Airport's officials' repeated requests to add a 4th flight to its daily commuter service to Seattle. But Chelan County Port Executive Director Jim Kuntz says the airline has agreed to extend its 4-flight schedule during the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays.
We had a meeting with Alaska, and very specifically, if we want a 4th flight, what would it take? So Alaska said the following to us. First of all, we love the Wenatchee market, and our 3-flight per day schedule, we're at 80% capacity. So Wenatchee is knocking it out. It is doing a great job. And so what they're going to do for the 4th flight, they would not commit year-round, but they said we're going to extend the calendar of how many months of year a 4th flight's available. So for instance, this November and December, where they normally would have just a couple couple of weeks for Thanksgiving, fourth flight, and a couple of weeks for Christmas for the fourth flight. All of November, all of December, we're going to have a full 4-flight schedule daily out of Wenatchee. And so that's good, but Alaska would not commit to us 4 flights year-round. That is our goal. That's what we would like.
Kuntz added that Pangborn experienced a 7% increase in commercial passenger boardings last year. Coming up next, it appears that the Chelan and Douglas County Port Districts are nearing an agreement on a plan to establish a combined regional port authority. Wenatchee School Board President Sonny Hemphill now has a challenger in the upcoming fall election, and the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society unveils its new kitten nursery. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Welcome back. In other news, it appears that the Chelan and Douglas County Port Districts are nearing an agreement on a plan to establish a combined regional port authority. A task force of community leaders and elected officials have been reviewing the proposed consolidation and were told this week that it could result in a savings of over $500,000 in annual operating costs. Under the plan, the 2 ports would remain intact, but would operate under one budget and one executive director to oversee a shared staff. A final decision on the so-called functional consolidation could be forthcoming. Public hearings are to be scheduled in the near future prior to a vote by the 2 existing boards of commissioners. Officials say they're targeting a January 1st, 2020 date for the consolidation to take in effect if approved. In other news, Wenatchee School Board member Sonny Hemphill now has a challenger in the upcoming fall election. Hemphill has announced she intends to run for a second term. Martin Barron announced last month his intentions to file as a candidate, but did not indicate the position he was seeking. This week, Barron announced he will file for Hemphill's position 3 seat. Barron is retired after serving as Chief Financial Officer for Pipkin Construction for 19 years. In a prepared statement, he says his financial and economic background will serve him well. He says, quote, "Board decisions must drive forward the educational process for students to achieve excellence while being responsible to the taxpayers," unquote. The candidate filing period is next week. There are 3 seats up for election this year. In other news, springtime brings sunshine, flowers, and longer days. For the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, spring also brings an influx of kittens in their care. Because of the increase in new fur babies, NCWLIFE's Megan McPherson tells us about the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society's new kitten nursery.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCWLIFE channel. We are here with Renee Parkins, the Development Officer of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Renee, you guys have a new room at the shelter.
We
so what's going on there?
do. Oh baby. We have have a new kitten room. It's a kitten nursery that we've just added. We've kind of taken one of our small critter rooms, and thanks to a grant from Maddie's fund, we've adjusted it and turned it into a kitten nursery.
So what's the importance of the kitten nursery?
So with kitten nurseries, we take in about 100 neonatal kittens a year. Those are kittens that are very small, sometimes hours old, sometimes days old, and they can't care for themselves at all, so they need constant feeding. They basically need a mom to take care of them. This will allow us to best serve those kittens while they're waiting for foster parents to come in and take them. So they'll stay with their foster parents until they're about 2 months old or 2 pounds. At 2 pounds, they can be spay or neutered, and then they can move up for adoption where they can go for their forever homes.
How do you get those kittens?
Well, sometimes they'll come in with pregnant moms. Sometimes owners will bring them in. Their cat has become pregnant, and it's a lot of responsibility. Oftentimes, people will bring them in, and it's kind of a tricky situation with newborn kittens. A lot of times, people will see them and think that they've been abandoned, and they'll bring them in. But oftentimes, mom is just out hunting for food. So we really tell people, if you do find stray kittens, especially those little neonatals, to leave them. Monitor them. If mom doesn't come back within 4 to 8 hours, obviously, or they seem like they're in distress or they're in an unsafe place, bring them in. But otherwise, mom probably is around, and she probably will be back. And a lot of times we see them separated. So that's just an important side note.
Good to know.
But that would also will reduce those little baby kittens that are just so fragile coming into the shelter.
And you guys have an event planned around the kitten room this Saturday, right?
We do. We're having a kitten shower. It's going to be just completely baby shower style. We'll have cake. We'll have games. We also have registered for all these little fluffy bundles of joy that we'll be getting in. They do take a lot of supplies. So Saturday, May 11th, from 11 to 2, we will have a shower right here in our ed room at the Humane Society. Come in, have cake. There'll be a bottle feeding demonstration at noon, so you can learn how we take care of those little teeny neonatal guys, learn about fostering, and just come celebrate with us.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, we continue our celebration of National Nurses Week with the NCWLIFE magazine. Tonight, producer Caitlin Hedersheet introduces us to an NCW Nurse of the Year honoree, Billy Tollickson, at the Chelan County Jail.
My name is Billy Tollickson, and I'm an RN, and I'm also the healthcare manager at the Chelan County Jail. I'm from Waterville, so I grew up there, and but I've always been, in the Wenatchee Valley. I started out actually as a CNA, and when I was in high school, and I did that for a couple years, and it was very hard work, and I decided that for all that hard work I was going to go to school and maybe get paid to do it, and so I went to nursing school straight out of high school, and I really was interested in the psychology portion of nursing. And so when I graduated, I saw this nursing position in corrections, and I had heard a little bit about it, and I thought this is a good opening, for me, and would give me some mental health experience. And so I took the job. It was just kind of a part-time position, and I just kind of fell into correctional nursing, and I realized that I liked it. I was good at it, and so later on, when a job did come up in mental health, I didn't take it because I felt like, I was getting enough of that here, and this environment was what I was good at. So I've been here ever since. That was almost 18 years ago. A lot of people walk through the doors and they're scared immediately. I mean, that door slams behind them and it's loud, and I never had that nervousness. My biggest nervousness was just not knowing how to find anything. It was like a maze in here. But other than that, I never felt scared or intimidated while I was here. So that was probably a good sign. Yeah. We have anywhere from 250 to 300 inmates at a time. So I see everything that you could imagine. This particular population does not take very good care of themselves. They have limited resources. Many of them are homeless, a lot of drug abuse. So when they come into the jail, you're seeing anything from an altercation that may have happened prior to coming in, to heart disease that has not been taken care of in months, to seizure disorders that have not been taken care of. So you name it, pretty much, I've probably seen it, and then things you probably couldn't imagine, unfortunately, I've seen as well. So a lot of mental health, a lot of drug abuse, and then a lot of very ill people that just don't have the resources to take care of themselves on the outside. So when they come to jail, we are their medical provider. It's our chance to try to help them as best we can while they're here, and give them a very good standard of care. Every day is different.
Established as a healthcare manager 6 years ago, Billy says her plan is to retire with Chelan County. 2 weeks ago, she found out she was recognized as an NCW Nurse of the Year honoree.
Yeah, exciting. Totally not anything I've ever used to or would have thought would have happened, but it's wonderful. I mean, it's great to be. First of all, it's just great for my coworkers to notice, I guess, and to respect what I do. That's awesome. To feel like you've done a good job is great, and then to be awarded and recognized by your peers out in the community, even better, because I don't think that a lot of people do know that I'm here, and so it's kind of nice to say, hey, we're doing a good job here, and I can't just take all the credit. I have an amazing staff. They make my job easy. I've got really good nurses that have been very loyal to this facility as well, so I'm very blessed, honestly. Nursing it's hard, and these men and women work tirelessly to take care of other people, and I don't know that we necessarily always get the recognition that we need, but I don't know that we necessarily need it either. I think that one of the reasons we take on this position is because we do a good job. We know what we're doing and why we're doing it, and we feel good about that. So, but I do want people to know that, hey, whether you're a school nurse, a correctional nurse, an ER nurse, out in the community, it's important. Nurses are important, and every role in nursing is huge and important. We all work really hard, I think, and I don't know that a lot of us get that credit, but I think we do it because we love it. That's why we're here. So yeah, I'm just thankful for all the nurses, no matter what field they're in. Do an amazing job. So.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast, and let's get right to our surface loop into tonight. High temperature today, by the way, unofficially 78 degrees, still under the influence of this large area of high pressure, which will bring us mostly clear and mild conditions for our temperatures and our conditions overnight tonight. As we move into Thursday, sunny and mild. Tomorrow should be a lot like today, but I think less cloudiness for Thursday, so I think we will get into the lower 80s. This is our temperature map, by the way, and these orange and red colors indicate 80s, mid 80s, and even some 90-degree temperatures as we get into the weekend. But to end our work week Friday, sunny skies and warmer temperatures as we move into the middle and upper 80s. Saturday, sunny and warmer. Look at some of these temperatures around the Palouse over into Yakima. We could see 90 degrees from this area of high pressure that's still bringing beautiful weather into the Pacific Northwest. I think this will be our warmest day, Mother's Day Sunday, where we could see, even in the Wenatchee Valley, about 90 degrees. Also Yakima down into Pasco, 90, a definite possibility for you on Sunday. Monday, mostly sunny and warm. High pressure still will be in control of our weather, but keep an eye on this area of low pressure now off the coast of Washington and Oregon. We're moving over to our precipitation map by Tuesday because we will begin to see a weather pattern change by about midweek next week as this low pressure system moves in and brings us, for the first time in a long time, a chance for rain showers. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. 83 the high temperature tomorrow, warming to 86 for Friday. Here's your Mother's Day weekend, beautiful with temperatures near 90 on both Saturday and Sunday, 87 Monday, and 83 your high on Tuesday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs. And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. Wenatchee used a 5-run second inning to open up a lead it would not relinquish in Downing West Valley 9-5 to advance in the district baseball playoffs on Tuesday. Yeah, the big inning included 2 RBI singles and 3 bases loaded walks, something Coach Jeff Zender was pleased to see.
You know, it was a comment that we were making in the dugout that we were impressed with how many 2-0 and 3-1 counts that we were getting in, and which drove his pitch count up a little bit. And we did a good job not chasing bad pitches and got some runners on and had the big inning where we scored 5, and kids did a good job at the plate tonight. seeing Gavin out there his senior year throw like that, give us an opportunity in a play-in game, and then put enough runs up to support him to get the win, as he's heading out, as a senior. Just a very special night for Gavin tonight.
Coach is talking about Gavin Woodring. He worked 6 2/3 to earn the victory on the mound. He said he felt good about his outing and was thankful to his teammates.
Really good. I think I had good control of my off speed. My fastball was working. Shout out to my defense. They really keep me in there, but I felt good, felt confident. I think towards the end of the season, we really picked it up and really found ourselves, kind of like last year. And right now, I think this team's on a high note.
Coach Zender says he likes the fact that they played that play-in game on Tuesday to stay fresh for the next round coming up on Friday.
We felt that, the play-in game at this point with only one berth to state that, I was kind of thinking we might want to play this to keep our energy level up instead of practicing all week. Now we had a great practice yesterday. We had an intense game today where we had to execute and compete. So we'll have another couple good solid practices and, we'll be bounced back ready to go for Friday.
With that 9-5 win, Wenatchee advances to the district semifinals and will play at Davis Friday at 5 o'clock. The other play-in game, Eastmont traveled to Eisenhower, picked up a 4-1 victory. That means a date with Moses Lake in the district semis at Larson Field Friday at 5. And the District 1A tournament, Teddy Freda, Chelan edged Okanagan 1-0 for the championship. Then Okanagan turned around and beat Cashmere 6-2. That ends the Bulldog season for the crossover game heading into next week in the Northeast Egg League. In Manson, the Trojans took care of Waterville Mansfield by a final of 7-2. Eastmont used a big first inning and went on to beat Wenatchee 11-6 in softball yesterday at Walla Walla Point Park. Joel Norman had the call on the NCWLIFE channel.
Here's the pitch from Files. Popped up. This might do it. Second base side, and making the catch is the second baseman, Young. And that will do it here in game 1 as Wenatchee falls by a score of 11-6.
A heck of an offensive output today from the Wildcats. They score 6 runs in the first inning, pretty much set the tone for the rest of the game. I'm joined by their head coach, Cliff Johnson, as well as Colby Vachelle. Colby had 2 home runs today, went 4 for 4. Colby, what was clicking for you at the plate today?
I don't know. I have a good coach, I guess. I was watching the ball. My hands were getting through quick enough, and I was timing her, so.
You guys were seeing everything in that first inning for sure. It seemed like, I don't know, you just came ready to play here right off the, I'd say bus, but a really quick trek over here.
Yeah, we always talked about hitting. We're a really solid defensive team, but hitting has to come with it to win games. So I think we did a good job in the first inning. We kind of slipped towards the end, but it happens.
You hung on though. Coach, your player gave you some credit. I'm sure you want to give her some for the heck of a day she had.
Yeah, what a great game for Colby, her senior year here, and to put up some numbers like that in a game, that's something she's going to remember forever. And so I'm really happy for her and proud of her. She was the captain out there today, and she carried our team. She did a great job.
Well, there you go. There you have it. Eastmont winning the opener 11-6. They took the nightcap too by a score of 14-12. Also yesterday, Waterville Mansfield down Manson 16-3 on the Les Schwab Prep Soccer playoff scoreboard. Yep, there you have it. Cashmere edged Bridgeport 2-1 to advance to the District 6 1A championship. Bulldogs will face Cascade after the Kodiaks dispatched Chelan 7-0. At the District 6 4A tournament, Wenatchee season came to an end, falling to Sunnyside 2-1. Eastmont advanced to the District championship against Sunnyside with a 2-1 win over West Valley. Prep tennis yesterday, the Big Nine wrapped up the regular season. Wenatchee swept Sunnyside on both the boys and girls side. Davis, meanwhile, swept Eastmont 5-2 and 6-1. Most of our area teams and high school seniors have signed their letters of intent to the colleges of their choice, but a ceremony honoring those choices will take place tonight at Wenatchee High School. The so-called college commitment ceremony for Wenatchee High School will kick off at 6 o'clock at the main gymnasium. Mariner bullpen couldn't hold a lead for Marco Gonzalez as the Yankees scored 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth. They went at 5-4 last night. Gio Urshela hit a 2-run home run off Anthony Swarzak in the ninth to tie it at 4-4. Then DJ LeMahieu hit a walk-off RBI single off of Roenis Elias 5-4. The final score, Gonzalez went 6 innings, allowing 1 run on 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, no decision for Marco. The team go at it again today. UC Kikuchi on the mound for the Mariners against the Yankees. Jonathan Loasiga. That's a look at sports.